Good afternoon, my friends. How are we? You are very welcome along to, what day is it today? Wednesday's afternoon news show. I was thinking it was Thursday, and then I thought to myself, no, Craig, you're playing tomorrow. Not me, personally, but the Reds. So yeah, I hope you're having a lovely day so far. Plenty to go through over the next hour or so. We'll be talking Ruben Amorim latest. Of course, we'll be asking what players does he want to bring with him from Sporting Lisbon, who's trying to hijack Liverpool's move for Nico Williams, and a couple of other bits and pieces. But first and foremost, I hope life is treating you well. Wow, what a night we had in the Champions League last night as well. I mean, we weren't bored. If you watch those games, some cracking goals in them. Both the ties interestingly poised as well for the second legs, which is good from our perspective because we want City and Arsenal to be as distracted and as tired as possible. So yeah, how are we all doing? I hope you're having a good day. Just a heads up, we will be live again tonight, by the way, for those of you that are wondering about that. We will be back live at 8:30, and again, we'll be keeping you guys up to date with what is going on in the Champions League games. So, a couple of questions straight off the bat. Craig, is it guaranteed that Amorim is coming to Liverpool? Was the first question that caught my eye today. Is it guaranteed? Nothing in life's guaranteed till the ink's on the contract, but I mean, it's moving along in the right direction. It certainly, all signs are pointing to it, but football is mad, and I wouldn't say to you it's done until I know it's done. So I'm confident, I'm optimistic, but I'm not going to lie to you and say it's all done and dusted. I don't believe it is, but it is going in the right direction. Might as well buy Sporting, said Morganski. Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because there's been a bit of chatter today that maybe Portugal is the country that FSG will be looking to buy that additional team in. The idea being, of course, that Ruben Amorim would have a great sense of, players coming through the systems in Portugal, a great understanding of the Portuguese league and teams. So maybe there's some truth to that, but I guess we'll figure that out as we go along. Next one was, did I see Saka's penalty shout? Yeah, it wasn't a penalty shout. It was Saka trying to cheat. Now look, I love Saka. I think he's a great player. But let's be honest, he tried to buy a penalty there last night, and the referee and VAR got it spot on. It was not even close to a penalty. The defender was doing nothing and Saka threw his leg into him. Look, don't blame him for trying. It happens. It's big nights. You're trying to con the referee, but it definitely wasn't a penalty or even close to it in that account. New hoodie? No, I've had this hoodie for ages, mate. Had it for ages, just forgot it was there, in all honesty, and threw it on today. Am I pro sell Salah? Yes, I am. I guess it's not that simplistic, right? It's just yes or no, sell or don't sell. But if you want the short answer, yes, I do think it's the right time to sell Mohamed Salah. But I guess I've got to caveat that by saying I'd also be absolutely fine if Liverpool put a 2-year contract extension in front of him on the same money. What I wouldn't feel comfortable with is Mohamed Salah getting a contract extension. But yes, I would cash in this summer because I think it's the smart thing to do if an offer of 100 million plus comes to the club. But I guess this is a very divisive subject. I'm aware of that, and all opinions won't be the same. That's why I always say I respect how you feel about it. For me, I would probably be in the Michael Edwards camp on this one. How much would you want for Salah, said Conor Ryan. I think 100 million plus seems about right. Yeah, I feel with what Harry Kane went for, with what Hazard went for to Real Madrid previously with a year on his contract, I think that's the kind of money you're looking at here, around 100 million. So look, I want to get into some of the news before I forget to, because it's very easy to get stuck into chatting and forgetting about the news story that we're here to talk about. So I'm going to start off with a fear that apparently Liverpool are supposed to have around Chelsea being interested in Athletic Bilbao's Nico Williams. I think at this point, anybody who's been tracked by Chelsea or offered a move to Chelsea should look at that very, very cautiously. I mean, just look at what's happened to other players who've moved to Chelsea. It hasn't exactly worked out for Caicedo so far. Lavia was really unlucky, of course, with injury. And Chelsea are looking to sell off some of their homegrown players to free up cash. I wouldn't be looking at a move to Chelsea if I was Nico Williams, especially coming from such a good family-based club like Athletic Bilbao. I think it would be a huge shock to the system. So The story is that Liverpool fear a hijack from Chelsea for the potential Mohamed Salah replacement that we've been linked with, Nico Williams, who of course has a release clause of about 45 million pound, I think, in his Bilbao contract. So I wouldn't feel overly concerned about that one anyway. There was an interesting story that Glenn Johnson came out with, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Glenn Johnson has said that Liverpool striker Darwin Núñez would get his vote for Player of the Year. And that kind of surprised me. And I'm not talking about Liverpool Player of the Year here, my friends. No, Glenn's talking about backing him for the PFA Player of the Year. I love Darwin, but don't know about that now. Yeah, I mean, I like that Glenn's publicly supporting Darwin Núñez. Don't get me wrong. It's always good to see former players backing our boys. But I don't think it's a great show for PFA Player of the Year, in all honesty. But again, it's better seeing former players bigging up our boys than slaughtering them. I mean, definitely not going to go in on Glenn Johnson for that. Hatham said, I really want Gyökeres or Gyökeres. I can never pronounce that gentleman's name. I have something from his agent, actually. Victor, let's just call him Victor, because I can't pronounce Gyökeres or whatever the surname is. So his agent was speaking about Ruben Amorim and about his own client, Victor, and this is what he had to say. Yes, it'll be more difficult for Victor to stay if Ruben Amorim leaves Sporting, because Victor came precisely because of Ruben Amorim. The day we met, I said to Ruben, here's my boy, he came to Sporting because of you. He went on to say there were 8 clubs very interested in Victor last summer. They would have paid Coventry more money than Sporting. They would have paid Victor more money. They would have paid a higher commission. But I brought Victor to Sporting because of Ruben Amorim, because I know his work and his work with the players. I chose Ruben because he is a coach at another level. So that is very interesting to hear. And again, I hope at least gives people a little bit more confidence around Liverpool's potential decision to go with Ruben Amorim as our next coach. I've said to you, the more I've delved into and looked at the player relationships, the way he manages, the way he gets on with his boys, it just comes back as a glowing reference. So it really does feel to me like we're going to get somebody in who is an incredible man-manager. Now look, I'm not trying to make the link between Liverpool and Victor Gyökeres, because I don't know there is one, but just giving you an insight into how highly his agent rates Ruben Amorim and why he made the move to Sporting over the other clubs who are interested in him. Cheyenne said, thoughts on yesterday's Champions League games? Really entertaining for the neutrals. I mean, obviously, Liverpool aren't involved in it, so we were just looking back from a Premier League perspective. And 3-3 at the Bernabeu, I mean, an incredible advertisement for European football. And then 2-2 at the Emirates between Arsenal and Bayern. We weren't left wanting for goals last night. Yeah, just a good night in the Champions League overall. It's pronounced Gyökeres. Right, I'm going to try to remember that, mate, but thank you. Appreciate you, Avani. Always help. With any pronunciations, I'm always open to some help on that. Do you think Carvalho will have a place under Amorim? Yes, I absolutely do. And I don't just say that off the top of my head. There's been multiple reports to say that he would indeed be brought back into the fold under Ruben Amorim, and more so as well because, one, the Portuguese connection, of course, but two, it's an area of the pitch that we will be utilising more under Amorim than we would have under Jurgen Klopp. Excuse me. How am I feeling? I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, mate. Really good. Just chugging along. Can't wait for tomorrow. Again, just one thing about tomorrow's game, actually, that I wanted to bring up. You may or may not be aware of this, but there isn't going to be any banners on the Kop tomorrow. A protest over the 2% ticket increase from Spirit of Shankly, Spy on Kop. So, you know, Jurgen was speaking about this in his press conference ahead of the game, and he said, as long as the people are there, as long as the people make the noise, as long as the people get behind the team between the two whistles, it's better than having no people in the stands. I don't agree with the protest. I can't lie. I understand times are tough for everybody. I totally get that. But I feel like a 2% pay increase is pretty reasonable. And I wouldn't want it to impact the team on the pitch. And I get it because, we are known for those flags, those banners, that amazing fandom. But I don't know. It's not my battle, I guess, because I'm not a season ticket holder, but it feels like a 2% increase after 6 to 8 years is pretty reasonable. But hopefully, at least we get the atmosphere anyway tomorrow, and the boys can get the job done, because quarterfinals of a European competition at home, want to get that win. Clockbo was also speaking about our injury situation. Oh, actually, sorry. While we're talking about the Cup, actually, I forgot to mention this yesterday. It has been confirmed that rail seating or safe standing will be installed throughout the entire Cup now after that successful trial. So that is going to be installed now. That was confirmed, I think, the day before yesterday. I just forgot to bring it up on the stream. So the Cup is going to become rail seating / safe standing moving forward for next campaign. And good to see that the trial went well. Good to see that it was something that everybody felt comfortable with. And of course, we look forward to seeing more of it, because I think it does add. We all go to games of football. A lot of people standing up. We've all probably been on the Cop at some point where we've been standing up for a game, and it can get quite tight there. So rail seating after that successful trial is a good idea. Colin Blackshaw, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, mate. Appreciate you. You've also put in a members chat. Said, is there any sporting players you rate? Yes, there is, but there's some that apparently our potential manager wants to bring with him, and I'm going to move on to that in a moment, my man. So, Liverpool injury latest from Jurgen Klopp. He said, we'll have to see if Trent, Alisson and Diogo and Stefan will play. So he's given them some chance there, Kloppo. We didn't rush it with the boys. Diogo and Trent worked as a group for 2 or 3 weeks and could do proper training. They looked very good yesterday. Stefan is different a little bit because he was out for much longer. It might make sense to give Stefan a game or two with the under-21s. Alisson is on his way back as well. They're now back in training, and we'll see how we involve them. So, again, moving a little bit closer there to these boys getting back onto the pitch, and it looks like they're a bit ahead of schedule from what we spoke about yesterday with the comments on the Echo, which were saying April 18th. Now, I'm not going in on the Echo for that at all. What I'm saying is it looks like it could be a bit more positive news here, and maybe they'll be back a little bit sooner. So, that's good news. Now, I did say we'd get into the main topic of tonight's stream, and that is, or this afternoon's stream, and that is the players that apparently Ruben Amorim wants to bring with him to Liverpool Football Club. So, Jornal, who are a Portuguese outlet, have said Ruben Amorim, who has been approached by Liverpool and is discussing his details over the contract, wants to bring Gonçalo Inacio, Ousmane Diomande, and Morten Hjulmand, or Hjulmand, with him to Liverpool. Now, I won't lie, obviously I know who the two centre-backs are there, but I did have to look into Mr. Hjulmand, and he's a defensive midfielder, 24 years of age. So, according to this report from Jornal in Portugal, he's looking to bring 2 centre-backs and a holding midfielder with him to Liverpool, if indeed that deal goes through, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, I'm not so much sure about the holding midfield player, but certainly the 2 centre-backs would make sense. One plays left in his current system. Gonçalo Inacio plays left centre-back. Right centre-back is Diomande. And through the centre, they go with Sebastian Coates. So, again, not sure how much faith to put in that article, but it is linking us to 3 sporting players. Would you go full strength and try and get the game done, said Ryan O'Connell. Of course. Absolutely. Home leg first, you want to build up as much of an advantage as possible before the away leg. There is no away goals in Europe as well, important to remember that, but definitely I would go strong, mate, 100%. Now, I have made some changes in my predicted 11. My predicted 11 was Kelleher in goal, Gomez at right back, Robbo at left back, Van Dijk and Canade as the centre backs. In midfield, I had Endo, Jones and Elliott. And then up top, I went for Mohamed Salah on the right, Cody Gakpo through the middle, and Lucho on the left. So it was Darwin that I was rotating out for this game. Because I thought Salah, I did say to you guys I was going to be looking to get somebody out of that front 3, give him a rest or a kick up the backside. And I feel like Salah has more credit in the bank. So let's keep playing Salah a little bit and hope he can return to his form. But I do think we need to start giving the boys a bit of a wake-up call. So that's why I would rotate one of the forwards out. A bit of a fixture update. Liverpool's trip to Aston Villa It has been moved to the 13th of May, an 8 p.m. kickoff. It'll be a Monday night game on Sky Sports. I like that, but it also makes me a bit nervous because that game then means we're playing last that weekend. But I do like that it's an 8 p.m. kickoff under the lights. I think that'll make for a pretty good game of football. So just a little update there on that one as well. Hjulmand is very good in Football Manager, said Beef with a genius. Well, I would usually mock, mate, but we know football players have been found before. I believe Bobby Firmino was found in one of those games as well, wasn't he? By Hoffenheim. Is Amorim coming to Liverpool? Title makes it seem like it is. So the title is based off an article in Portugal that said Ruben Amorim, who's been approached by Liverpool and is discussing the details over his contract, wants to bring Gonçalo Inacio, Ousmane Diomande and Morten Hjulmand with him to Anfield. And that comes from a Portuguese outlet, what is it called? Jornal Noticias. So a Portuguese outlet. So that's what the title's about. Again, for regular viewers of the channel, what we always do is the title of the stream is based off one of the articles we're going to talk about. So it's never Anfield Agenda saying these things are going to happen unless we very much come out and say it's us saying it's going to happen. But it does look like it's moving in that direction, mate, yes. What level do you think Elliott can reach under Amorim? Look, I know it's a big ask and maybe it isn't the best comparison, but you'd be looking to have a Phil Foden type impact there for Harvey Elliott. Craig, like your lineup for tomorrow, but I would drop Mo and play Darwin Diaz and Dan's. I don't see Dan's coming in to play the game. I think it's too big of an ask for Jayden Danns to come in and start tomorrow personally. But I did say it came down to a decision between whether I would give Mo a rotation out or give Darwin a rotation out. And I just think Mo is more credit in the bank, so I'm willing to give Mo a little bit more breathing room to get his form back, if you get me. I think he's earned that right. But we do need something from them. We need more consistency from those attacking players, and we need better productivity in the final third. We need Frimpong. I don't think we do. We've got Connor Bradley. I don't think we need Frimpong at all. I think Connor Bradley can more than fulfill that role. That's just my own personal opinion though, my friend. Right, so on Darwin, WhoScored.com put out a post, and I love our friends at LFC Transfer Room for the reply to this, by the way. So well in, boys, if you're watching. Fair play to you for sticking up for Darwin. I really do like your retweet of that post. But the initial post said, Darwin Núñez has the worst big chance conversion rate at 20% in Europe's top 5 leagues this season. So again, WhoScored.com posted to say, Darwin Núñez has the worst big chance conversion rate at 20% in Europe's top 5 leagues this season. But LFC Transfer Room, sticking up for our boy, and again, well done lads, said he also has the second highest goals and assist rate per 90 minutes in the Premier League. Yes, he does. So again, stats can show you whatever you want them to show you. And I like what the lads at Transfer Room did there. Yes, you can show us that he's poor, but we can show you that he's got the second highest goals and assist rating in the Premier League. So, you know, it's just a matter of what way you want to look at these things, really, isn't it? And I like that our friends at LFC Transfer Room have chosen the positive look. Frimpong score goals in the Bundesliga, mate. I mean, I don't understand why people think everybody else is better than our players all the time. Frimpong's good, he's grand, but who says Connor Bradley is going to score goals? This is his first season breaking through in a system where we don't actually use wing backs, unlike we see there at Sporting and at Leverkusen as well. So I don't think there's a fair comparison there. In the new system, our wing backs will have more license to get forward. So I think you'll probably see an increase in goal productivity there. And also, we already have Connor Bradley. We wouldn't have to go out and spend money on him. He's already at the club, come through the academy system. And the grass isn't always greener. So I get why you like Frimpong. He is a very good player. But I just think we have some solutions already in the team. Craig, I heard Pedro Sepulveda talk on Sky about how Amorim would want to buy players that he likes, not similar profiles found by Edwards or Hughes, even if we have to pay a bit more for who he wants. What I would say to that, Muse, is there's probably going to have to be some give and take there, because and I mean this with the greatest of respect to Ruben Amorim, you're not going to walk into Liverpool Football Club on day one and start dictating transfer policy. You haven't earned that right yet. And I don't believe he should be given that power yet. I believe he should have a voice. He should have a role to play in the players that he would like to bring into his system. But ultimately, it is the job of Richard Hughes, less so in this new setup with Michael Edwards, but he'll have a say in it, but he has to earn the right to have those definitive decisions. Jurgen Klopp earned that right over his time and results at the football club. So I understand the perspective on it, but I think, a bit of give and take, a bit of compromise, certainly in the early days. Bradley can hold right back down for the next 10 years, said Chris Yates. Yeah, he can. He's been a fantastic, I won't say surprise, but it's no surprise to me that Bradley broke through this season because I've been championing the young man for a while, and just great to see that he's lived up to expectations. If Amorim expects this fullback system to score, he can forget Robbo scoring. Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Ross. For all the amazing things that Andy Robertson can do, assists, attack and play, defensively, goal scoring, yeah, I think that's, if there's one aspect I think we'll all agree that Andy Robertson could work on a smidgen, it is that final bit of shooting, definitely. Craig, should Núñez go, regardless of the stats? He's been terrible. You've seen it. No. I'm not saying no to everything you've said. I'm just answering the should he go part. For me, no. I could be deluded here, but I still swear that we will get a few years of this boy clicking and being incredible. Maybe I'm delusional, but you can see the raw pieces. You can see the ability. It's just getting that all together and making it work. Whether it's his own thought processes, it's definitely not a confidence thing from what I can see. He's 24, heading for 25. He's not into his prime yet as a striker. I definitely wouldn't be looking to sell him on, no. But I also don't know for certain how he will play in a new system. So that's another reason why I wouldn't sell yet. I think he deserves at least one season under the new manager to try and figure it out. And maybe the new manager can get what we're unable to get out of him now in consistency terms out of him. So I would give it a while is what I'm saying. I want Wirtz. He's going to play a sporting system. Wirtz has been listed. Pedro Neto, Florian Wirtz and Nico Williams were all listed yesterday as players who Liverpool have apparently got an eye on if Mohamed Salah leaves the club. Eid Mubarak, my people, said Ibi X Edits. Is today the end of Ramadan? So if so, Eid Mubarak to all of our Muslim friends. Yeah, as I've said before, it was nice to be educated on what Ramadan was with regards to, the whole idea behind the process of Ramadan. So yes, Eid Mubarak, if anyone's celebrating today. I hope you all have a wonderful day with your families and your loved ones. And thank you for sharing, my man. Appreciate you. Right. I believe Darwin will start firing soon. Give him time, said Phil Lewington. Do you think Trent should play in midfield or right wing back under Amorim? Oh, it's a difficult one. It is. I still don't know what Trent in midfield looks like, and I'm still trying to figure that out. Yeah, so I don't want. It's weird because I really, really want Trent to get a new deal and stay at the football club. No doubt in my mind about that. And I think this season Trent has really blossomed into a leader and a more senior looking figure at the club. I just don't know what that looks like yet in the new system, but I definitely want Trent to get a new deal and stay. No doubt in my mind about that. Is Hjulmand linked to Liverpool? Yes. Today there was an article in Portugal that was talking about Ruben Amorim's contract negotiations at Liverpool, and then went on to say that he would like to bring Gonçalo Inacio, Ousmane Diomande and Morten Hjulmand to Liverpool with him. So yes, it was reported today, mate. Now, it's not me saying it, but it is a report. Amorim likes quick, fast players, and I think Núñez will be a good fit. So yeah, looking in a little bit more last night when I was reading up on Ruben Amorim, does play more Pep Guardiola style of controlling football, but does have that Jurgen Klopp counter press from the front as well. So it'll take a bit of getting used to, but I'm definitely going to try and watch as much of Sporting as I can between now and the end of the campaign to figure out maybe what we can expect. Is Amorim confirmed to Liverpool? No. No. Zane says nonsense rumours. So, Zane, with all due respect, this is what this show is. It is talk. We look at the newspapers, we discuss what we think of them, and we go from there. If you want to come in and your only input is to post nonsense rumours and not interact or get involved in the chat, just, probably best for you to head off elsewhere, my man. If you want to come in and give us reasoning or talk about your own likes, dislikes, or wants, we're all ears, but need a little bit more from you, mate, than just nonsense rumours. Again, I don't write the stories, I just deliver the news. Do you think Jota will make it before Crystal Palace? Well, looking at Klopp's press conference today, he said we'll have to see if Trent, Alisson and Diogo will play. So he's not ruling them out of the weekend. He's not even ruling them out tomorrow at this point. So, maybe he's giving us a bit of optimism there. I certainly read that as, if you're asking me about Palace, I think, yeah, absolutely. Which is a good spin, because yesterday I thought 18th when we read the reports in the Echo. Now, again, I'm not going in on the Echo, but they were the dates that we were working with yesterday. So to hear Jurgen say today that the boys have been back training, good news. So I hope, we all want Diogo and Trent back available ASAP. Hi, I'm a big fan. Arthur, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. And Zane, thank you for your back comment as well, mate. Great to have you in, Zane, and I appreciate that you said fair play. We're just here to have a chat, bro, and we want you involved. We want your thoughts, of course. And I agree, a lot of the stuff is often nonsense, but we've got to talk about it, we got to talk about it because we don't know what the future holds and we're trying to figure it all out. But again, I do appreciate where you're coming from, and 90% of the media stuff is usually waffle. Yes, you are correct on that one. Craig, do you think if we had Jota at Old Trafford, we would have walked away with 3 points? Yes. I think most of us would agree with that. I don't know what it is this year about Man United and Liverpool, but God almighty, they've just frustrated us, haven't they? We haven't been able to get the results that... Well, our performance at Anfield at the start of the season didn't really deserve much from that game, in fairness. A draw was probably more than fair there. But the FA Cup and the tie at Old Trafford in the league, I don't know how we walked away without winning either of those. Kofi, thank you for your 1 month of membership, mate. And your comment was, Craig, if Amorim wants these players with him at Liverpool, then we bring them in with him. Hope FSG don't act up. Well, look, I'd be of the mindset of whatever players a manager wants, be they Diomande, Inacio or Hjulmand, then yes, absolutely. I don't know how Sporting are going to react to the manager coming back in wanting to raid the club for 3 players, but I guess I don't know about Hjulmand, but I can certainly say that Inacio and Diomande have release clauses. Diomande's, I think, is about €70 million, Inacio about €60 million. So, in that sense, there is a possibility to do it without really having to be at the behest of Sporting, because there's release clauses. Are you worried about next season, said David Hansen? I think to some extent, yes. Always going to be worried no matter who the next manager was, because they ain't Jurgen, and Jurgen is our man. And, it's been like that comfortable blanket, hasn't it, having Jurgen managing the club. We've been able to have that consistency, and now it's changed, and sometimes change is a little bit frightening, isn't it? So, yeah, a little bit concerned, but also optimistic and positive that we're still heading in the right direction. Jurgen has done what he said. There's a line in there somewhere for a song. And he has delivered, and he's leaving us in good shape. So from that regard, I'm positive. A lot of managers, and I'm looking at you here, Jose Mourinho, leave football clubs with ageing, high-paid players that he's ran and rinsed every ounce of energy out of. Jurgen hasn't done that here. Kofi gifted 10 Anfield Agenda memberships. Kofi, are really, really kind. Thank you. Craig, honestly, according to you, which of the fixtures Arsenal can drop points? I'll be honest, I don't think they will. So immediately, I'm looking at the North London derby, of course. That's one. Wolves away, not going to be easy for Arsenal. So, we'll have a look at that as well. But, I'm probably pinning hopes on the North London derby. Do you reckon we're going to compete next year for the league? Says Lucas Italio. I think it would be a bonus if we do. I hope we are, but I get the feeling next season you could see us around third place. But it's also really hard to gauge because we just don't know what it looks like, and we don't know what our competition is going to do. We don't know. Like, there's a lot of talk Man City are going to look to bring in Paqueta. I don't know what Arsenal's transfer business is going to hold. So, nor do we know any potential punishment or points deductions coming down the line for the likes of Chelsea, or we don't know what business United and Newcastle are going to do. But yeah, I think we should be there or thereabouts. It's not really, the squad's good enough. Chelsea and United, the first name last name reckons there's points. Yeah, they've got to go to Old Trafford as well. So look, I understand people are worried and nervous, but I would be amazed if City and Arsenal both don't drop a single point between them. So we're just going to have to do what we can do, which is take care of our own games and see what the future brings. I know it's not very comforting, but it is just one game at a time now, and see what we can do. So just really quickly, like I said yesterday, if you want to come particularly to the Belfast show, you're going to have to get your tickets soon because they're moving quick. So if the Dublin show, there's more availability because it's a bigger venue. But if the Belfast show was one that you're looking at coming to, got an update from the guys at Ticketmaster yesterday, those Belfast tickets are starting to shift quickly. So if you want to come to that show, I wouldn't hang off. The Dublin show, bit more manoeuvrability there. There's more tickets available because it's a bigger venue. So if you want to come to either of those two shows, tickets are on sale right now on Ticketmaster. Cardiff and Liverpool will go on sale next month at some point. But these two shows, if you want to come, honestly, particularly the Belfast one, I wouldn't want you to miss out because we can't go any bigger on the Belfast one. But the Liverpool or the Dublin show, there is availability because it's a bigger venue. Both Arsenal, City have Champions League as well, yeah, and neither of them have the ability to rotate really or rest too much for the second legs because, well, they're both close games, both of them drawing. Obviously, Manchester City have a home leg for the second leg and Arsenal have to go over to Munich, so, yep. Hopefully that Arsenal-Munich game goes all the way to extra time, penalties, loads of additional stoppage time, and lots of mental and physical energy sapped out of them. Who's Hjulmand? He is a Danish 24-year-old defensive midfielder. That's about all I know about him, who plays for Sporting Lisbon. I won't lie to you, the first I'd ever heard about him was when we were linked to him today because I haven't been looking at Sporting central midfielders, so there you go. That's all I know about him. Was a quick little Wikipedia search before the stream. Okay. Bayern will beat Arsenal and City will beat Madrid. I think you're probably right, Red Machine. But be better for us if Arsenal got through and played City in the semi-final. So, and look, it's better for English football as well. The only team I'd never, ever get behind any potential success in Europe is Manchester City. I don't want United to do well, but at least I have some respect for Manchester United in the greater picture as a club. With City, yeah, meh. I don't want to go down that road again, though. We've already been down that road enough. Do you think Endo has shown he should be starting 6 next year, or should we be more ambitious? Well, don't forget about Bajcetic. So we don't know what role Bajcetic is going to have next season under the new manager. He could be utilised as that 6 or, one of the two central midfielders. So let's wait and see. We have been linked today with another holding midfielder. So from that regard, I don't know. But look, Endo's been brilliant. I think Endo's more than deserved the right to carry on playing the way he's performed so far. But it's up to the new manager. You know, this is the downside of I guess coming into a football club when one manager brings you in, is if a new manager comes in, there's no guarantees you're going to be as highly regarded by the next coach. So I guess everybody just goes back to level pegging when the new coach comes in. Michael Kennedy, how are you, sir? Said, Craig, I don't know about you, but recently I'm really excited about Ruben Amorim. By the way, good luck with your shows. You'll smash it, you deserve it. Thank you so much, Michael. I'm really excited about it as well. You get past the initial fear of Jurgen leaving. But yeah, I'm excited by it. And I think it's a good appointment if Liverpool go through and get Ruben Amorim signed up. You know, we were all a little bit disappointed when Alonso chose to stay at Leverkusen, but Amorim was always the one after him that I'd said that I'd be happy with. So if it's Ruben Amorim, yeah, I'm happy with that. Do you think the PGMOL are going to let Man City drop points? I don't buy into the PGMOL wanting Man City to do well. I don't buy into that part of the conspiracy theory about the whole thing. Do I have my own ideas around the PGMOL and Liverpool? Yes. But I don't know if I feel that they're wanting City to do well. I do feel like there's definitely some want for us not to do well, but and I would also go as far as to say I think that they probably get away with some tactical fouling more than other teams. I've looked at some comparisons for games where there's been similar numbers of fouls in the games, and every time we play with a similar number of fouls, there seems to be a higher percentage of yellow cards handed out. So, yeah. But look, I guess again, if you dig hard enough, you can find any of these things to help your argument. You look fresh today. Thank you, Kofi. Yeah, it's been just a crazy last couple of weeks. I've on a personal level, there's loads of stuff happening behind the scenes, and I'm hoping that over the next day or two, a lot of that stuff gets sorted out and I can keep getting back to content making, which is all I want to really do. Which game are you worried about for us? Spurs, always, because Spurs come to play, that'll be an interesting one. But probably Villa away. That's probably the most difficult game we have left. Thoughts on Saka penalty not given, that he tried to cheat? Very clear, very simple. And if anybody thinks otherwise, I think you're just fooling yourself. He tried to cheat. He threw his leg into the defender. There was no movement towards him whatsoever. And it was 100% not a penalty. And I like Saka, and I'm not trying to label him as anything, but he was trying to con the referee there, and it was absolutely the right decision. We should all be eternally grateful that Klopp stayed and rebuilt the team. What an opportunity for Amorim. Yeah, but it's still disappointing that he's decided to move on. It is still going to take some getting used to, but I understand his rationale. I can imagine it does take a lot out of you on a personal and emotional level to manage a club like Liverpool for as long as he has. Fritz Frank said, I totally disagree. Refs want Abu Dhabi friendly money. Again, I'm not trying to say you're right, I'm wrong. I can only give you my own perspective on these things. Is it a good look that the refs are going over there doing nixers? No, absolutely not. Shouldn't be happening. And it does open them up to questions. And I think that is fair to say. But look, they're just not good enough. That's the be all and end all of it for me. They're just not good enough. Or they're just not good enough taking care of the Premier League games. They just aren't. What's this one? So, Jurgen Klopp has admitted that he understands why Liverpool supporters are staging a protest against rising ticket prices. And again, I feel like the phrase rising ticket prices is a little bit over the top. For the club's Europa League quarter-final first leg against Atalanta, there will be no flags on the Kop at Anfield on Thursday night after the club announced a 2% pay increase for the 24-25 campaign for season ticket holders and general admission tickets. So, on this, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I just feel like 2% is reasonable, and I've said this so many times now. The £9 junior and local ticket that is still available isn't going up. I do understand that there's a cost of living crisis, of course, but if Liverpool's costs have gone up 40% and, season ticket prices or admission prices are going up 2%, I think people have to be reasonable. 2% is minuscule. I would suggest that everything else has gone up far more over that time. I think inflation over that period is way above 30%. So, whilst I totally understand that the more money in your own pocket is obviously a better thing for you, your family, and your own situations, I don't know. I don't agree with this, and I can't say I do. I just don't. Are you going to the Europa League final if they make it? No, I'm not. I'm going to be here working with you guys because it's where I should be. I may go to the semi-final. I'm still working that out. There's a chance I go for the semi-final if we get there for the second leg at Anfield, but no, definitely not for the final. I turned down that opportunity to have a ticket for that. I passed up on it because I want to be here with you guys. All this noise and chaos surrounding the club is not healthy for our performance, said Coach Bill. No, it isn't. Yeah. I mean, I can't say... Look, I'm not here to judge anyone, but I can only give you my perspective on it. Do you see Ronaldo about to punch the ref? No, because I pay no attention to anything that goes on in the Saudi Pro League, let alone what goes on with Ronaldo. So, no, I heard about it, but I haven't seen the incident. Do you think we need foreign refs in the Premier League? So, I've said this for about 2 years now. And I know it's fashionable now to bang on about referees, but I've been banging on about referees on this channel for a long, long time. And I've long believed that there should be a group of referees that rotate around the top 5 leagues in Europe and helping to, give the players an understanding of how referees from different cultures or leagues may referee. I think it would help the European competitions. It would help players be more accustomed to what to expect. I think it would remove some of those inbuilt biases that may consciously or subconsciously exist with referees towards some managers or players. I just think it's a good idea. So there's certainly enough money in the game to make it happen. So why not? But it seems like every time transparency is needed in football, it doesn't happen. Somebody has an objection as to why things should remain as they are, and they usually vested interests. Copman said, out of the players recently, who would be your preferred primary target? Mine would be Inacio. So Inacio makes a lot of sense to me because we need somebody for the left side of a 3 on centre-back. So yeah, I'm probably going to agree with you. I like the idea of Diomande as well. I just think there's going to be, from what I've been reading on him, there's a lot of clubs looking at Diomande. He has a higher release clause. Inacio, we've had a long-held interest in as well. But I can't help but get away from the fact that we could have had Inacio last summer for a good bit cheaper. I think he had a release clause of about 40 million euro, I think, last summer before he signed a new contract, which increased his release clause. Thoughts on Douglas Luiz joining if Amorim joins? It won't happen. Simply because Aston Villa want 100 million quid. And Douglas Luiz is not worth 100 million quid. So, and also Aston Villa have very, very wealthy owners who are ambitious and will probably be in the Champions League next season. So they're not going to sell Douglas Luiz. And I don't want Liverpool paying 100 million from him either. We should push for Lenny Yoro. Loads of teams looking to push for him. Real Madrid have been linked with him. PSG strongly linked with him. And I don't think, again, it'll be one that Liverpool go into because you're looking at a bidding war, and that's usually not the type of situation that we try to get involved in. Do we go strong against Atalanta or do we mix it up with youth? Go strong, surely, have to go strong. In an ideal world, you stick 3 or 4 past them and the second leg's taking care of them, but it's Europe, quarter-final. The season's running down. It's no time to be resting or rotating. Well, rotating, sorry, yes, a little. But it's no time to be going weak. No. Best foot forward for everything. For some fans, 2% will be a struggle. Did I say otherwise, mate? I don't believe I said it was or wasn't. But at the end of the day, 2% may be a struggle, but it's life. You know, the trainers they have on their feet will have gone up. The coffee that they're drinking at the match will have gone up. The no doubt probably public transport may have gone up, or their petrol in their cars may have gone up. It's life, mate. And we can all cry poor mouth when we need to. I mean, 2%, let's be realistic about it. In 6 years, it's not going to be the difference maker for anyone to buy a season ticket or not. 2%. Let's be realistic. Like, let's be blunt about this. 2% is not going to make you stop going to a game of football, is it? It's not going to make much of a difference to you. 2%. I mean, I think we're just looking for reasons here to be complaining. 2%, mate. 2% in 6 years. So I think, no, it doesn't really affect anyone. And if it does, and that is the breaking point for you, then you probably should be using that money more wisely than attending games of football. Look, genuinely, if we're talking about 2% of the football price bringing hardship to your family, well, then you give up going to football because your family's clearly more important, as it should be. But I just think it's an unnecessary distraction. What about Levi Colwill? Since Chelsea need to sell players, again, I wouldn't say no to Colwill. I've been a fan of Levi Colwill for a very long time. I don't know what the situation is going to be moving forward there. You are right, though. Chelsea are going to look to sell the likes of Conor Gallagher and a few more homegrown players to help themselves with the Premier League PSR stuff. So, look, I wouldn't be against it. Am I going to try watch Benfica versus Liverpool? When are we playing Benfica? I don't know. Like, when we're not scheduled to play Benfica, unless you're talking about the winner of the other quarter final. Then yes, technically I'll hopefully go to the second leg. Moan about shirt prices more than 2%. That I agree with. Shirt prices are a disgrace, absolutely, and that affects all footy fans right across the board. It's football jersey prices are scandalous. Absolutely. That's one of the reasons I stopped buying the Liverpool shirts. My backside, am I going to pay nearly 100 quid for a football shirt for 1 year? No. I agree. I've stopped buying jerseys. Just been watching Trent and Jota on the training pitch and I'm buzzing to have the lads back. What a boost, said John Power. What's your prediction for Villa versus Lille? It's going to be an interesting tie because Lille are obviously no mugs. Jonathan David certainly knows where the back of the goal is. But like I'd say about us in the Europa League, Villa should be looking to win the Europa Conference League. You know, they should look at that competition and think we are by far the best team in this. So I think they'll get through. But it will be interesting. I'm also very interested to look at Leverkusen and West Ham because that'll give us a good indication of where Leverkusen are at up against Premier League opposition as well. Did you say you were going to Cardiff? I'm from Wales and thought I'd have to miss out. Yeah, we have the 2nd of August, mate, booked in for Cardiff. We're going to be at the Richard Burton Theatre. I think it's at the University of South Wales or... excuse me, it's on the university campus. Those tickets are going to go on sale next month. And it's an all-ages event for Cardiff and Liverpool. So everybody will be able to go to those shows. We haven't put those tickets on sale yet, though, because it's too far out. But yeah, 2nd of August and 4th of August for Liverpool. Craig, haven't been in for a while. Hope all is well. Seriously talking, do you think sell Gakpo for 50 million and get the money? So the way things are looking, it looks like Salah and Diaz are the ones certainly being mentioned as potential sales for the club. I wouldn't sell Gakpo yet, no. I'd give him another season. I think after next season, though, if he doesn't pull up his socks, yes, I think it's fair to start questioning then. But it's lovely to see you back in, Maximus Jones. It definitely has been a while and nice to see you back in. I hope you're well. Are you planning to come to London? Yes. Yeah, we'll probably look to do the O2 Indigo at some point down the line. It's just I want to test the water with these shows first, see how we get on before we book a load more, you know, because they're expensive events to put on. especially the Dublin one. So that's the plan. Do these two, Belfast and Dublin, at the end of May, start of June, and then before the season, a couple more. Richard Hughes wants Somerville. I'd seen that article yesterday, Russell, to say that Liverpool were interested in Leeds United, Somerville, all right. But again, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's just get the manager over the line first, and then we can start maybe looking a bit further towards what transfer business we might like to do. Do you think Amorim will bring the best out of Darwin? Yes, I do. But look, I'm not to say Klopp hasn't tried his best with Darwin, but I do believe, yes, we're getting in another very good manager in Ruben Amorim, just like we had with Jurgen Klopp. And yeah, I do think certainly the clarity of language will be a lot easier. Obviously, both of them speaking Portuguese. It will be a lot easier for Ruben Amorim to communicate maybe the finer points to Darwin. A perfect world, would you rather Xabi Alonso or Ruben Amorim? Probably Alonso. Like, I'm not going to lie and say it didn't feel like a great fit, the idea of Alonso coming back in. But Ruben Amorim is the best alternative, in my opinion. So, I can't lie, I probably would have liked Alonso, yeah. Darwizzi said, I paid £120 for my Liverpool shirt with Macca at the back. That's disgusting, isn't it? £120 for a bit of polyester that probably costs £3 to make. It's this. I hate it. I hate where football jerseys have got to, the price of them. View on squad rotation in competitions and how it may affect certain teams. Love the content. Thank you. I think Jurgen has been remarkable at rotation this season. Some of it enforced, of course, because of injuries. And I can't speak highly enough with how I think he's managed the squad this season. It's been top notch. Do I think that his methods have maybe added to some of the strain over the years in players? Yeah, I do. But ultimately this season, I can't complain about how he's managed the squad. I think he's managed the squad really well in very difficult circumstances. And to still have us here, like where we are, I can't but be impressed. Can we chuck in money and Tsimikas to get Theo Hernandez? So I wouldn't be against selling Costas Tsimikas. I just don't think Theo Hernandez is consistent enough. Every time I watch him, it just... Sometimes I'll watch him and I'll think, oh my, wow. And then other times I'll watch him and I'll think, you are so frustrating to watch. But I amn't against selling Costas. I'm with you on that one. Craig, I've made some Craigo fan art. Is there a way I can get it to you? Or shall I just send an email? Please do email it. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I hope it's nice. I hope you're not trying to take the piss, but yeah, no, mate, please, I'd love to see it. Contact at AnfieldAgenda.com. Contact at AnfieldAgenda.com, and I'd love to see it, mate. And I'll, of course, respond to your email as soon as I have a look at it, mate. But thank you. Craig, do a show in the Acorn Suite / the Stand-In at Anfield. We're doing the show in the Hot Water Comedy Club, mate. I've been talking to the director of the Hot Water Comedy Club, so we're going to be doing where Blackstock Market is, the new venue that they're building there. We're going to be doing a show there on the 4th of August. Tickets will go on sale next month, and I can't wait. It's the venue I've always wanted to do in Liverpool, and we may have some little surprises on that night as well. So yeah. Keep your eyes peeled. But yeah, coming to Liverpool August 4th. Can't wait. It's been something we've wanted to do for ages, obviously. Would you trust having Kwanzaa and or Gomez next to VVD and Ibu next season if the new manager stays with his system? I think we need a left side centre back. No problem with Gomez or Kanade on the right. No problem with Kwanzaa or Verge in the middle. But do think we at least need a left-sided centre-back. So I wouldn't be moving on any of the centre-backs that are at the club other than Matip, obviously, whose contract is up. Do you think the club will sell Robbo this summer? I hope not. I've seen some suggestions from a couple of journalists that perhaps I don't see it, and I hope not, because I think there's more to come from Andy Robertson. And I think in a wing-back system, Andy Robertson will be brilliant. I played a match yesterday, scored a free kick and done the Salah celebration and got man of the match. Well in, Ronnie. Proud of you. Well done. Keep the performances coming, my man. You should add a fan art channel to the Discord. I think just post it to the normal Discord. I don't think there's any need to add an extra channel to it, to be honest, mate. I don't think we get that much. And I don't like the word fan, by the way. I think of everybody as genuinely as mates, not as fans. Like, I don't look at it that way at all. I don't think I'm up here and you're down here. Like, I think we're all just here for a conversation. I don't put myself above anyone. I'm going to attempt to draw your intro tonight. Cool. Nice. Well, you've a lot of competition there, because 442s were the guys who gave us our dancing intro with me and Nulon, which I'm so happy and grateful for. Do you think the Gabriel handball incident is like... I didn't see it, because remember, I was streaming here with you guys, so I only seen little bits of the Arsenal game yesterday, and I haven't seen that handball, so I don't have an answer on it. The only reason I seen the Saka incident was right at the end of the game, and I just turned the TV back on. My children love the intro. Perfect. The big child inside of me, Coach Bill, loves the intro as well, and yeah, it's honestly just seeing yourself in cartoon form. It's just the child in you just wants to smile, like. So I'm glad they like it, mate. Thank you. Is it good or bad, the changes? Which changes? And the manager or the coach? I don't know the answer. It's different. It's always in life good to refresh at some points, but it's just a case of how smooth does this transition go, you know? Because we've had 9 years of stability and always pushing ahead and pushing forward under Jurgen, always developing a little bit more. And consistency of players, of relationships on the pitch, of coaching, of instruction. And there's a lot to be said for that continuity as well. But sometimes fresh ideas, fresh instructions on the training pitch, they can be a good thing as well. Just joined, can you please go back over the title? Yes, I've got to finish up in a moment or two because I have a doctor's appointment. But before we do, happy to go back over the title. So, the title is mainly based around a story coming out of Jornal Noticias from Portugal, and they say Ruben Amorim, who has been approached by Liverpool and is discussing his details over his contract, wants to bring Gonçalo Inacio to Anfield, as well as Ousmane Diomande and Morten Hjulmand. So 2 centre backs and a holding midfielder is what has been reported in Portugal that he would like to bring with him. What's this one? Not sure what that's about, but I'll look at it later on. Right, my friends, I'm going to have to start winding the stream down because I've got to go have a doctor's appointment at 6. So I will be back at 8:30 tonight, where I'm going to need you guys to keep me up to date on what's going on in the Champions League games, but we'll go through everything in more detail as well. So really appreciate you being here. Don't forget, as I said earlier on, particularly for the Belfast show, don't hang around if you want to come, because those tickets are going quickly, and so nice to say that, actually. And the Dublin show, we've got more availability on because it's a bigger venue, but again, tickets are both on sale on Ticketmaster right now. Klopp spoke highly of Ryan and most people's wages up 2%. Thank you, Casper's Photography, for your super chat, mate, and again, thank you for your input. I will see you guys at 8:30. Have a good one. Bye-bye.